righty, folks. How's it going, everybody? I hope you all are having a great and wonderful beginning of your week. It is Tuesday, August the 25th. We're going to have a special guest today. I hope you all are doing well. So, as all of you know, we did have the Great American Fair, of which we didn't have the best of opinions of. From what we saw, however, we do have a special guest who did attend it, and we are going to put him on in just a bit. Let me make sure we get everybody over here. We have A2R Gaming on board. Hello, as always, usually he's on here first. Heartless Fiend, we want food. We want food. Okay, well, I got myself some Culver's custard ice cream, so you're more than welcome if you have Culver's wherever you are in the world. You're more than welcome to get some. So let me make sure that the YouTube chat is up on here, and we are good on Discord. Okay, so without further ado, folks, let me go ahead, and there we are. Is it covered in deep butter and deep fried? I don't know. I've had that before, but we will talk about, speaking of food, we will talk about Amtrak food as well. So if you guys are hungry, best to go ahead and get some food because you are going to need it. Let me make sure I have this set up here. Okay. Make sure I have my sound. There we are. There you go. There you go. Now you guys can see without the red tint on there, so forget my eyes. There we are. Okay, folks, let's go ahead. We're going to bring on Rambling Hobo, otherwise known as Daniel. So we are going to bring him on board over here. So let's give a round of applause and bring him up. So there you are.
Hey, long-time listener, first-time caller. Name's Daniel, and honestly, thank you for having me on. I honestly wasn't even expecting to get a message back from you.
Yeah, of course, man. I just saw your interest, your message on Facebook. I thought it was interesting. It's like, oh, you did go and attend, and you got some pictures, and you wanted to share some stuff, and we had a pretty good conversation. So, yeah, I think it's be best to probably talk about first. If you wanted to go into the Great American Fair, I know we just had the IndyCar race over there this Sunday. I did watch a good portion of it. I haven't seen a streetcar race in a good bit, and I forgot how bad on the street they are. But I mean, it was a fun and interesting event to see. But you got to actually go ahead and see the Great American Fair. So yeah, by all means, take it away from here. So I got the pictures you have here from Union Station up here as well, and you're more than welcome to direct me where you want me to go ahead and put the pictures on.
So with how you have it set up right now, let's start with that IndyCar race. So the reason why everyone was having that accident in that one corner is the crosswalk right there.
Right.
That crosswalk is a race crosswalk.
Yeah, because I know they were talking about, because again, it's not a purpose-built racetrack, so it's not going to be smooth sailing all the way. It was kind of like how the Formula One track in Las Vegas, everybody was flying over the same manhole cover and it was destroying the bottom of the car. So it was kind of the same thing with that crosswalk where it would just discombobulate the car and there you go, sliding into the wall when you lose all your grip.
So me and my friend who went to DC for the America 250, we were both taking bets on where that track was going to be, and we both lost the bet.
Oh.
We thought it was going to be either by the Lincoln or the Washington Monument, where you'd actually get more of the landmarks, it would be more open, but honestly, with how effective and quick injunctions have gotten in this current Trump term, I get why they did it there, because you're putting the grandstands in front of buildings and stuff, so it would be harder to get that injunction.
Yeah.
At the cost of having a good race, but still was a great time, and it's the first time that IndyCar's got me to watch it in years, so props to them.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good event so far. I think probably after the 500, that's probably the only other Indy event that anybody has ever watched. But yeah, this is you got some good photos over here from the Great American Fair. So yeah, tell me about how that all went.
So to start this off, I took Amtrak from Denver, Colorado, where I'm at, all the way out to DC on, unfortunately, what's now the Floridian, and that's become a miserable experience since they've ran through. Up the Northeast Corridor and back home with a layover in Philly. And after doing that, honestly, arriving in DC by train is genuinely the best way to experience arriving in DC, especially during an America 250 event. Because as soon as you open that front door of Union Station, was literally the most American experience in life. You arrive like how everyone before you had traveled to DC. You open the door, you have that American flag draped in front of you, and way off in, I don't know if you could quite see it in that first picture, but you have the dome of the Capitol perfectly lined up down that city street.
Yep, we got that up on there. Yeah, it is incredible, and it's, at least thank goodness this station was never tore down like so many others that have been derelict and just left to rot. At least they did a good job at trying to bring it back, and I know there's a little bit more to go in, but I mean, these are some great pictures, man.
Honestly, this was one of the best modern train station experiences I've had. After doing over 2,000 miles by rail, this was one of the pinnacles of it. But so I arrived on, I believe it was the afternoon of the 2nd when the Cardinals, or not the Cardinal, but the Floridian gets into DC. Check in my hotel, and it's just like how all the news had been saying. Nothing's happening, and was just, oh wow, everyone's right. But you know how when you go to a city, you get just this feel walking through the city streets of a culture or a vibe or a feeling.
Right.
Walking through this, it was truly everywhere I stepped, everyone I interacted with, pure patriotism. It was genuinely the most American that I've ever felt, and the most proud I've been to be an American. So those two photos that you just scrolled by, the one with the fence knocked down,
Yeah,
and the overfilling trash can, that gets into some of the stuff that happened on the 4th.
oh man, yeah, because I know the 4th they had the most amount of people. That was the only time where it seemed to be completely packed.
So the 3rd, when me and my friend are checked in the hotel, we're both up and going, because one of the things that really hampered it, even though those 3 days were the most attended, was the weather. It was consistently during the day over 100 degrees, over 70% humidity, and the entire population demographic of DC shifted from East Coasters to the entirety of Middle America just came out.
Yeah, I've
It was
been,
like
I
90%.
and I've been to
Middle
DC a
America.
couple times. The native DC, I don't know how you call them, DCers or whatever, but they're kind of very oh man, they're not nice people. And I've been there. I think the last time I was there was in 2016. And I made the grand mistake of wearing a MAGA hat and walking DC. I got so many jeers and stuff thrown at me. It was a bit ridiculous. But I mean, man, I mean, it's good to see that at least, some normal people were at least there in DC, which this seems to be good. So I'm looking here. It did seem, from what I've heard, that a lot of people did go into the Smithsonian's outside on the lawn.
Actually, so that gets into that whole weather thing, is with the colossal heat, all of that stuff, and me being me, I'm wearing a cowboy hat, blue jeans, cowboy boots, red, white, and blue shirt the entire time I'm there, and even the natives were cheering me on and having a great time.
There we go.
And this was, I know it's a controversial thing, and talking with locals, it still is a controversial thing, but compared to the previous time I'd been to DC and my friend had been to DC, since the National Guard's been deployed there, it's a night and day difference. Aside from the trash cans right next to the event overflowing,
I mean, they only had, I mean, what,
Everything.
two little trash cans and a. I mean, at least people tried to put the the recyclables up there, but I mean, this was just bad playing on there. But you can see the National Guard over here. I mean, nobody's going to try anything silly with that many with that much security detail out there.
By far the cleanest and safest I've ever experienced DC. So with the heat wave, one of the biggest things we did every night was they left all the national monuments outside of the security zones open all night, 24/7. So
Well, that's good.
when we'd be so me and my friend, we'd get those like e-bikes and e-scooters, and we'd be just ripping through the neighborhoods till like 4 or 5 in the morning, going to see the national monuments, touring the historic neighborhoods. And never once did we feel in danger. Never once did we feel unsafe. And it was actually a kind of livable temperature to go experience DC in. Because the unfortunate part about the 4th of July is it's during DC's worst weather. And this has been a very exceptional heat wave for the US this year.
Yeah, it has just been blazing hot everywhere. It's either blazing hot or you get flooded up like we just got here in Indiana. But yeah, it's like you pick one or the other. But scrolling through these pictures, so I have the nighttime pictures up, and this is a pretty good
90% of when we were out. So that is. We'll lead into that. Do you have any of the actual fair itself?
I do. So let me go ahead and get that. By the way, looks like you did ride on the Metro. What did you think of that?
Honestly, so first time I went there, my family was too scared to take the Metro, and they wouldn't listen to me on saying, it might be faster to get around. Looking back in hindsight, yeah, there's a reason why we didn't take the Metro back then. But
Yeah,
honestly, their Metro Pass, one of the best cost per dollar Metro passes I've ever had in my life. I bought the 2-day pass, and then on the third day I was there, I bought an extra one. And I was so happy I bought that extra one on the third day, because even though I was there a half day, one in apparently every 100 Metro passes you got was a custom America 250 Metro Pass that looks like that banner up there.
Oh, nice. Okay, wait. So was this somebody else's, or is this yours that you actually got from the?
I bought it on the third day, just to get back from the hotel to the train station, and because a person I met waiting in line to get into the Great American Fair told me about it and said, hey, one in every 100, you get this really cool America 250 Metro Pass.
Nice. There you go. That's something to keep for sure. That's wow.
Decided to roll the dice and get an extra Metro Pass and pay the extra money just for the day to see if I'd get it in.
There you go, man.
Lucky ticket on that one. But no, the Metro was amazing. The National Guard, they were absolutely friendly. They were happy to be there.
So they had them. I'm assuming they had them in the cars as well as on the platforms too, right?
So actually, I never saw any National Guard on the Metro.
Interesting.
So what's happened is, because the DC Metro gets, what I found out is a sizable amount of its funding federally. Their police force no longer answers to the city council. They're just a normal railroad police force now, so they can actually prosecute crimes and things that the normal Washington DC police is not allowed to do.
That makes sense. Okay, so because they're separate from the usual, lackadaisical DC judicial system, they can actually bring down the hammer on people. So yeah, all right, that makes sense.
The biggest excuse that was used for that is because they operate in Maryland, DC, and Virginia. They're considered interstate now.
Right. Okay. So they have to have cross state lines and judicial lines. Yeah. So that makes sense. All righty. Okay. So here we are at the fair. So we got the ground. Yeah. These are most of the pictures that everybody saw online. It was just basically empty. And I think most of all of us were drawing from our experience at our own state fairs.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've been to like, a state fair in Indiana, and there's a hell of a lot more people than this. So I was like, what's going on?
Okay, so on the 3rd, we did all the Smithsonians we could, and we found out because of the heat, there were only 3 Smithsonians we could even attempt to get into because of the crowds. And can you still hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Or did it lock up?
No,
Okay, so
you're still coming
in. We tried to go to 3 Smithsonians, and we were only able to get into 2 of them because of the crowds, and you ended up having to do this whole reservation lottery to get in.
Okay, so everybody that should be in this photo, they're all in the museums then to stay cool.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
If you wanted to go to the state fair in the afternoon, this is the rough lesson that I learned on the 4th of July, trying to get a good spot for the fireworks and go see all the speeches and stuff. This was very poorly planned with how the weather turned out. The National Mall doesn't have any shade. And because the Great American Fair was done under Freedom 250 and all the Smithsonian stuff had been pre-planned prior under America 250, they were kind of at odds with each other. So there was arrogance between the Smithsonians and the fair. Honestly, if there was any sense put into this, we'd have had the Smithsonians be the entrance and the security gap be going out of the Smithsonian into the fair.
Okay, so that was the main thing. Yeah, because I know there's a whole big controversy because America 250 and Freedom 250. So America 250 was, I believe, either under the Biden administration that was created and under Congress, and that was run by a completely different committee than the Trump administration's Freedom 250. So
one of those weird things where it's a transitional presidential thing where it was originally pitched by Trump, but it didn't get passed and authorized till Biden.
Right.
And then because whether you're pro or against Trump, everyone can admit he has an ego. Because his name wasn't on the creation is why Freedom 250 happened.
Right, so that makes sense.
He didn't like some of the restrictions, and it honestly, that division, it was really weird to see in DC because you could tell the political leanings of whoever owned which store by which merchandise was available in any given store, because there'd be some stores where it's all America 250 merch, and then you'd go to the store next door and it's all Freedom 250 merch.
Oh man, yeah, that's a little ridiculous that they had that whole back and forth. I mean, honestly, there should have been some sort of executive order to bring that all in to, make the organization a lot better between this. Because so we're bringing up the pictures over here, where it seems there's a lot of people in the booths. You see one guy here with a fan. It's like everybody just seems to be either tuckered out. I guess this is the booth from is this Iowa for John Deere? Everybody's kind of just.
This is the American Technology booth, I believe.
Gotcha.
So there were three grand booths, and there were like your usual suspects, like in the American Innovation one, like 2/3. There's the Iowa.
Okay.
But in the American Innovation and American Future, SpaceX took up 2/3 of the booth with this giant display.
Oh,
it was
man.
Interesting, but it wasn't anything special. I work in aerospace currently. I take or leave it. But the reason why you see everyone tuckered out and all the booths are jam-packed is all of the booths are air-conditioned.
Okay, so everybody's just kind of just hiding in there for the heat. Yeah, it looks like 20 water bottles over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 water bottles here on the floor. This guy looks like he's about to die over here, the one in the green shirt. So that's on the John Deere picture. So it's like, yeah, man, goodness.
when you see those photos of the empty lawn, keep in mind for the entire time the Great American Fair was running, it was 100 plus, 60 plus, 80+% humidity. Everyone's hiding in the booths. No one's in the lawn unless something special is happening outside.
Yeah.
So that's why it always looks interesting. But like the Florida booth, I was never able to get inside of it because it had a line that went all the way across the National Mall, back across, and then back across the third time
Oh
to
man.
get in.
Goodness, wow! Yeah, I think at that point they could have made the booths larger to at least take up the space on the grounds, and that would at least have some more shade, at least.
That gets into a lot of the this. This really is a case study on designing a multi-week event with the goal of it being a big thing for these multiple weeks, but then you have 2 days of big events where things are happening outside, so you want all the space outside and trying to balance the two.
Right.
Because when the flyovers would happen, which were some of the best flyovers I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, let me bring those up. I will say I was seeing some of the flyovers on live on TV. Those were pretty cool. I mean, like those were pretty sick. Let me see if I can find those pictures here.
Performance I've ever seen. They were performing the 3rd and the 4th. And how we found out how serious the flyovers was is me and my friend walk out the hotel door and we get blasted by a Thunderbird full afterburner 8 stories above the city street.
Oh man.
Just running down the streets like it's a canyon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were having real fun to just like basically just go, just do whatever because they were flying pretty low over here. I have the Blue Angels up on here. I think that's through the Smithsonian.
Yeah, that was the Thunderbirds doing the Smithsonian.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. There you go. I can see the colors on it. Yep, there they are.
Love the Blue Angels to death. This was genuinely the worst performance of the Blue Angels of all time. Because you know Trump, he always chooses the Blue Angels as the demo team.
Yeah.
Well, Thunderbirds finally get a play, and they had something to prove.
Oh
so,
man!
You know that over-under where that both demo teams do, where the bottom pilot's inverted and the top pilot's upright. They were doing that below the height of the Smithsonian Castle, which that's not the tallest building on the mall by any stretch.
No, and there is nothing too tall over in DC either. So I mean, yeah, they're like within touching distance right there. That is crazy.
Oh no, it was. There were people genuinely freaked out when they'd see them coming through the city streets doing their go-arounds. The F-18 demo pilot, it was like he was trying to split his airframe in half. How many G's he is pulling on stuff. I wish I could have gotten better pictures, but they were going way too fast and way too low for me to get solid pictures of.
Yeah. I mean, you got lucky with getting like some of those pictures because like at that point, like it were right in between the buildings over there. They're going at what, like at least 300 knots or so.
Oh yeah, no, they were hauling. They'd be there 1 second, gone the next.
Yeah,
they'd run down the city street, outside the city, they'd pull up, do a giant G, come back up a different city street, pop up at a random location.
Yeah,
it was the first time on an air show. We never knew where the plane was going to come from next. So for that alone, it genuinely was truly worth going, and the event was worth having.
That is crazy. For those of you who are joining in just now, we are interviewing Daniel from the great state of Colorado, who happened to go to the Great American Fair via Amtrak, and he wanted to share his experience with all of us over here. So I figured, hey, this would be a great show for us to all have. So we're having a great time so far. So thank you all who are joining in. And David Jackson is saying that FY DC residents are called Washingtonians, which it's confusing for those people who live in the great state of Washington, which I do feel bad for the Washingtonians in that state of Washington having to deal with what they have to deal with right now. But yeah, that is a bit confusing. So okay, so there we go. Washingtonians, is that what they're called? So real quick, Daniel, so we got the Colorado booth right up, and North Dakota right after that.
So my state actually went out and did stuff, even though we have a terrible governor who's been picking losing fights. We were kind of obliged to do something for this because it's our 150th. We're the Centennial State, so this was our 150th anniversary as well. So,
All right, so that all
We
makes
were-
sense.
more than obliged to celebrate.
There you go. Yeah.
Right.
So hey, it looks at least it yeah, at least it all turned
Speaking
out
of
well.
which, the fourth, the states that didn't have people or the territories that didn't have people show up, residents from those states, and there were a lot of them, would just take turns sitting in, those blank office chairs that went around on the internet.
Yeah, I saw that on X. Yeah, so people who and then some of those booths. I think Pennsylvania was one of them, or did they actually bring someone in? I think.
I wasn't able to get to Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So I was only able to hit half of the states before an event happened.
All right.
So,
Okay.
The states that didn't have anyone, people just from those states would sit in those folding chairs and then just talk to people about their states, what they like about it, what they don't, what's fun there, and just be the tourist guide for the state and represent their state there just for fun.
Oh man, that's
And that was one of the coolest American things I've seen is, my state's not doing anything, but I got 30 minutes, hour. Yeah, sure, I'll represent my state.
there you go. That's something. All right, so we got the pictures here of the Arc de Triomphe, as they're calling it.
Okay, so before we get into that, let's go into getting into the fair.
Okay.
The biggest problem with the fair. So the day I actually went into the fair, I went early. And what a lot of people didn't realize, I found out a bit of, but wasn't quite fully aware of how strict it was. It took me 3 hours waiting in line with 12 entrances to get into the fair.
Oh man.
And it wasn't because of the quantity of people, it wasn't anything like that. It was the level of security screening they had.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, this is the biggest event that they didn't want anything at all to happen here.
And I get that to a certain extent. It would have been fine if there was no fences, because what people didn't realize, and I didn't realize till I was there, was where all the speakers were, the president was speaking, was in a separate security zone at the Washington Monument. But they wouldn't let you bring cigarettes in, a lighter, a vape. If you had a purse, you weren't allowed in. So the sheer amount of people who didn't read the fine print getting into arguments would turn an hour wait into a 3 hour wait.
Okay, that makes sense. Got it.
No water, no anything, because you're not allowed to bring in outside water. And how they compensated for that was throughout the entire fair, they had the National Guard running with these giant pallets of water continuously replenishing them as free water stations. Unfortunately, they only announced those on X. So all the food courts and gift shops had these colossal 2 hour lines to go buy a $9 bottle of water.
Oh man, this just seems like just multiple little disasters here and there. They could have just done better planning to at least make this. Yeah,
it's a little bit of signage, a little bit of planning.
Yeah.
The thing that bugs me the most, and when I feel no one's reported this accurately, is on one side, everyone wants to talk about how terrible of a failure this was because of the before and after that weekend. And the sheer amount of the fact that the entire weekend, if me and a friend actually went through with a drinking game we were debating on playing, was every time we see a little ambulance come out of the Great American State Fair with someone who has heat stroke.
Oh man. Yeah, you can tell by some of these people, just the demographics of these people, that you just having just this one picture. There's probably a lot of heat strokes happening with just not having enough water, shade, or cooling in most of the areas people are going to be moving around in.
In all honesty, if the Smithsonian and Freedom 250 could have played along and made it one big unified thing where people flow in and out of and can enjoy the air conditioning. You just use Smithsonian security because there's no federal speakers in this area. It would have gone infinitely better, but that requires people to play along. It requires planning ahead. The other big problem is it made it almost impossible to get from one side of the mall to the other, regardless of time of day.
Okay.
Even in the middle of the night, because every night when the fair closed, they take down all the barriers that block the streets and reopen the streets for overnight. And before the fair opens, they reopened all the streets, which I don't want to think of the budget on that, but it's it for doing like Lyft scooters, Ubers, they weren't even overnight allowed to go across those streets. And Metro closes at a certain time, so you're either going around the mall to get around the no-go zones, or you're walking across the mall and getting another ride on the other side.
Oh man. Okay, yeah, that seems like kind of, yeah, because there's one picture here. I guess people moving around. There's one guy on a Lime scooter, another on a bike. People just generally looking confused, like, okay, so how do we get in here?
So this gets into why I couldn't. This picture is why I couldn't do the other half. So around, I believe it was 1 p.m. Eastern, a storm front starts blowing in.
Okay, so this was the big storm that they had that they almost canceled the fireworks over.
Yeah, quote unquote big storm.
Right.
So they start shutting down the fair because there's lightning strikes, there's this big storm coming. But I chase tornadoes for fun. You're from Indiana. 90% of the people here are from the Midwest. We all have a very different idea of what a big storm is.
Oh, believe me, me and my wife go back and forth on this because I'm born and raised in Miami, Florida, so I've gotten my fair share of hurricanes in the 24 years that I've lived there. I've actually seen a tornado. I mean, a small tornado form right in front of me in the middle of February and tear down like half the street. So, yeah, I'm quite familiar with strange weather. But yeah, I guess everybody here is just all stuck in one place. Yeah, go ahead.
So for us, it's, what do you mean we're closing down? That lightning's like 30 miles off. The temperature dropped, the humidity disappeared. We all can finally live and enjoy this. This is great.
There we go, some rain, yeah.
But right before the trash can picture, that picture of the fence blown down.
Oh man, let me see if I can find that one. All right.
The National Guard fully deploys, and this is the first time I've had a if you could even call that, adversarial relationship with some sort of the U.S. military. And it was really funny because since me and my friend we were out till like 4 or 5 in the morning, we'd met a bunch of the National Guard guys doing security. The one who was guiding me away I'd actually met the night before. It was just, come on, man, I got to do this. You got to do this. Everything's done till further notice. And he said, okay, fine, I'll leave.
Oh, man.
The problem was I was on the wrong side of the fair, north-south of the mall. So I got forcibly exited to the opposite side from my hotel to go grab some stuff and for us to go to our firework plan. Because neither of us wanted to wait in the separate, what we found out was a separate security line that was going to be 3 hours long. They were only going to admit the first X amount of people. So we weren't going to play that game. But what actually closed down the fair was, because it was a secure area, is when the storm came in, there was a microburst. Sure, you and I hope most of our listeners know what a microburst or experienced it.
Yeah.
Sudden, big gust of wind, and then it's done. Maybe 10 seconds at most. That knocked down apparently about easily 50% of the fencing in both security zones.
Oof.
And it was 3 layers of those temporary fences. So while the news said it was the storm, what it really was the microburst deleted the security zones.
Right. So then that's why all the
And-
fences were torn down from here.
Yeah, that wasn't people knocking them over or doing anything violent. It was a microburst.
Yeah, I wouldn't figure there was going to
And
be
they
too
everyone
much
out of both
dissension in the crowd from here. So yeah, I was figuring like, yeah, man, what happened to these? Was this from the storm or something? So okay, yeah, that's
So it was
that confirms that.
quick microburst, barely rained. It was light drizzle, maybe 30 minutes, hours after the event got postponed.
Okay, gotcha. So let's go ahead and start moving through here because I do want to hear, and pretty sure some people on Discord want to hear about Amtrak. So let's go through the arc, the fireworks, and then we'll end it on Amtrak.
So fireworks, we weren't going back in line, so we went up to Arlington. And that's the Marine Corps Memorial at Arlington.
Let me go ahead and bring that up over here. There we go. Yeah, the Iwo Jima one, yeah.
So it got so overcrowded, even in Arlington, to watch these fireworks, that they shut down all the highways and interstates around there
No, man.
and let people walk out onto them. So where I actually was able to watch the fireworks from was about a quarter mile down the interstate from there.
Okay, so all right, here we go. So I got it. Is this in front of the? Okay, I see where this is. Okay, so
that's not the World War II Memorial. That's on the south side of the Potomac at Arlington. It's the other flag raising memorial.
right. Okay, so then this is where you're able to go ahead and see the fire. Yeah, this is almost on the other. Yeah, right by the Potomac. Yeah.
So yeah, this is us walking back, and there's one I sent you where it's like this big crowd of people walking across the bridge,
Right.
and a trail of people in front of me. So we stayed to be some of the last people to walk back on the interstate, and that's from the interstate guardrail actually, and this is us walking back from the interstate. This is me and my friend as the last 12 people walking up the interstate on-ramp. That's the local road that goes from, I forget the town just north of Arlington, but just being overwhelmed with people. There were so many people, the metro ran all the way 24/7
Whoa.
for that night. They just had to keep shoving people through.
Yeah.
Because one of the problems that happened throughout all of DC, especially in the suburbs, was DC near the mall planned for all these people, but because everyone accidentally got dispersed, where all the mobile extra cell phone towers weren't where everyone was.
Right. So nobody can get any signal out.
You can't get a lift, you can't get an Uber, you can't even pay for a Lime scooter to unlock it. So everyone has to use the metro, and the metro is just, okay, we're running one more hour. We're running one more hour. We're running one more hour. Okay, fine. We're just going to go the rest of the night, and it's just going to be free for everyone.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, that for sure, I know there was a ton of people out for the fireworks. At least that showed that they were more or less everywhere. Even every single news outlet had a show that it was just more during the fair where it didn't seem to be too many people because I guess they were all hiding in the Smithsonian's from the heat.
So, I mean, honestly, even on the second, DC attendance was fairly lackluster. But the third, the fourth, the morning I was there on the fifth, DC was completely swamped. There, it was selectively swamped. So in the mornings, everyone's in the museums. Afternoons, everyone's in the fair, running around. At night, everyone's going to the monuments. Um, like that picture, if I should have sent you another one looking to the left and right. That's not even in the secure zone, but it's just a field. Everywhere around there, I was trying to selectively take pictures to not have 10 billion people in the frame because I was thinking these are just going to be for me.
Right. Okay, so yeah, here's one with the White House where they have the scaffolding up over here on the lawn. So okay, and then here's the Jefferson.
Yeah, and that Jefferson one, I sat in front of that Jefferson Memorial for 40 minutes waiting for it to clear out.
Huh.
That White House one, that was the closest anyone could get to the White House that weekend.
Okay.
And that was shot through a chain link fence.
Oh man. All right, so
that one,
I think everybody wants to hear about the arc of Trump, and then we can get to Amtrak. So, what did you think of this? Let's everybody seems to have an opinion on it.
Win a war, and then you can get an arc to Trump. Not the 10,000th time you've won the same war. My big problem with all of the false fronts and even the arc to Trump was you can tell all the stuff was disposable plaster casts done on a budget. But seeing the scaled down model of the arc to Trump, honestly, it has the potential to be a cool new DC memorial. It's looks better than anything built in the last 15 years in DC, in my opinion, but I'm also not a postmodernist.
Yeah, it just seems that there's a lot of stuff missing on the bottom half under here, any sort of flourishes or details, and then like the plaster is like falling apart where there was some coking coming out in places from some of the pictures that I've seen online. So were you able to see any of that?
Yeah, no, so this is literally just like a 1/3 scale model that they just threw up,
right,
to give people an idea. And I'm not gonna lie, if I was a worse person, I would have probably, for fun, just poked my finger through and seen if it would have gone through. But it had already been up in the DC heat and humidity, two of the worst things for plaster, for a long time. They left a lot of details off. One of the booths, they had like a whole, all the things that are going to go on it. And it's very Trump-esque. It would be cool if it was just a general U.S. military or U.S. excellence memorial or monument, but I don't know. It's an interesting idea for a return to classical architecture, but no one's going to like it with the name that proposed it.
Yeah, no, I get it, and heck, I'm still waiting because I put in a proposal for the DOT's beautifying American transportation for classical architecture. I put in an Art Deco station, and supposedly it's going to be in July where they're going to announce who the winners are. Nobody has heard a peep from them, whether they've judged anything or not, or who's moving forward. And it's the end of August, so I don't know what's going on with that. But I mean, it's kind of a bummer that, you know, there's so much potential with bringing in a whole bunch of classical and just beautiful architecture, and it's kind of it's not looking too good with the way it's being. I mean, just kind of like the way that you've been describing how this whole entire event has been planned. It had great potential, but there was just so many things that just kind of made it a little bit wacky to get to.
It's a mixture of not planned out well enough, great concept, great people there, but this weird thing we have in modern America that I know you like to harp on, and this is one of the reasons why I love listening to you, is we've lost the ability for follow through in this country and actually doing our best at something.
Yeah, it just seems that we don't have priorities of actually doing the things to make America great. It just, and, you know, this is bad. It's just I feel bad for the people who, you know, really went there with high hopes and thinking that this was going to be a really great thing. I mean, like you did, and you seem to have a good time despite all the silliness that occurred. I mean, some of it was just you couldn't control. I mean, like, look, nature and is going to do whatever nature does. That's the thing. But there could have been better preparation. But no, but completely get it.
So my friend, he's very black pill, doom and gloom on the future of the country. He came away with a negative feeling, but he also doesn't just talk with random people and enjoy what's immediately in front of you as much.
Yeah.
And he came away with a lot more of the negative aspects of it because he was looking for the negative aspects. I went in wanting to, I'm going to celebrate our 250th in our nation's capital. And I was looking for the event needed a lot of things. If you went there wanting to have fun and celebrate our country's 250th, it was honestly the best place you could have done it, even with everything that went wrong.
No, that's a good way to look at it. So, I mean, and that's the thing right now. And I get a lot of people right now are black pilled on the way things are going on in this country. Yeah, it is going to get worse before it gets better. Believe me. And if we have time, we'll probably get into the massive electricity situation that is going to befall in this nation a lot quicker than people really think. And it's again, with everything else coming to infrastructure, we're not in a good place, but you know, we're still here, we're still alive, this country still has a spark, it's still there. It's just that, look, we have to just at least get through this, have as best of a time as we can as possible, stick together with family and community, because like that's the only way we're going to get through the tough times.
Oh yeah, and even more than electricity, water. I live off well water where I'm at, and with how this year's been and how data centers suck water, if I run out of water, that's gonna mean way worse things for everyone else than it does for me.
Oh yeah, no, and I agree, and I've been hearing a lot about the various water situations going on across the country. Either there's too much water in some places, or there's not at all enough water in any places for either a number of reasons, whether it's drought or whether it's data center sucking it all up, or for either the water is contaminated from just a whole lot of off run. So I mean, yeah, it's just a lot of resources right now are going to be a lot more critical, and what we take for granted right now may not be so plentiful in the future.
Either way, let's get back to this is American Rail Club. So
yeah,
Amtrak.
So let's get to Amtrak. Speaking of things that are not plentiful on Amtrak is funding. So you had quite different experiences on Amtrak depending on which side of Chicago or the Mississippi you were on. So let's get into that.
So, this was my first truly long distance Amtrak trip. This is one $45 meal we're looking at right now.
Oh man, $45 for this? Goodness, this is like maybe, this is, I'd say maybe $7 at Denny's. I know with inflation that's probably $12, but I mean, they're charging $45 for like microwave Marie Callender's fettuccine.
I mean, you might want to double check my math on that. I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure Amtrak dinners system-wide is $45 off outside of AutoTrain.
Oh man, that is okay. I believe you. I'm just gonna make sure because I know somebody's gonna come in the comments and be like, "Oh, that's not." We'll figure it out. But in the meantime, so let's get to it. So you had some breakfast over here. My apologies. Let me make sure I have this. There we are. I have it turned up. So yeah, it was kind of a mediocre breakfast here. You still there, Daniel?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yep, now I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, that's the East breakfast also. I believe those are $25. I only remember the west side because I didn't eat in the dining car unless I was a sleeper on East End.
Okay. Yeah, and it is correct. $45 for a dinner plate on Amtrak. This is from trains.com. $20 for breakfast, $25 for lunch, and $45 for dinner. Kids do not eat free on Amtrak. It is $20 for kids. So yeah, that is a kind of a bummer. And I know years ago we talked about this, about how Amtrak food was about to get worse with some of their menu items. But yeah, Amtrak coach passengers can now buy meals on Western traditional dining cars. This was from back in 2022. So yeah, it seems like this is what Amtrak is serving now.
So if I'd have thought a little bit more ahead, I'd have sent you pictures of the coach seating on both sides of the legs. But
Okay, yeah, and so I know you were saying that you went on the Acela and the Avelia as well. What did you think of that experience?
I did 2,000 miles, Denver to Chicago, and what I originally wanted to do for my Eastern leg, but because the capital became the Floridian, and apparently sometime that I didn't pay attention to, the Pennsylvanian doesn't run all the way through to Chicago anymore. I originally wanted out of Chicago to take the Cardinal to DC because I wanted to go to Prince, the Chessie station, the Art Deco one with the beautiful tile floor.
Yeah.
But the tri-weekly service didn't line up with when I needed it to. So had to take the Floridian and took that into DC. And I was going to do this whole round trip on coach. I've only ever known Superliner coach before, and Superliner coach, honestly, if you travel west of Chicago and you're okay with sleeping next to people, because in my opinion, Amtrak is the single highest stress society I've ever been in. I'm fine leaving my carry-on in the overhead, and I've never had it messed with. I know no one's going to mess with it. Everyone's watching out for each other. That's how I always thought all of Amtrak was Superliner coaches. Comfortable, you can kick them back, not annoy the person behind you, and have a seat that almost turns into a bed and just go to sleep. Get onto the Floridian, and I'm put on an Amfleet 2.
No.
And this is after spending a 4-hour layover in Chicago, talking with, for at least 2 of the hours, with one of the City of New Orleans engineers telling me things that I already had an idea of, is how terrible and scary all of the Simmons contracts are, and how this is going to destroy Amtrak and might be a plot to finally get rid of it.
Yeah, because there's talk back and forth on what's going on. And I know Amtrak is trying to really cozy up to the Trump administration to get as much funding as possible. But the reality is just that Amtrak hasn't gone anywhere near the funding they need to be in order to be considered transportation for a developed nation, if we can be called still a developed nation like ours. Compared to everywhere else, because and anybody who has been anywhere else in the world, whether it's Europe or Japan or China, or heck, even in places in Southeast Asia, and of course now with the Middle East and Dubai and Saudi Arabia, their transportation is far and away ahead of ours, and the spending that they're able to go ahead and provide. I mean, it's not that we don't have anywhere near the spending in this country. We spend more than any other country on anything for so many different industries, whether it's education or transportation or healthcare, but we get nowhere near the same results as any of these countries do when it comes to their results of anything. So, I mean, the fact that we're and the fact that people are getting charged $45 on Amtrak for basically mediocre. And I get Amtrak is strapped for cash. It's always been strapped for cash, but I mean, people pay big money for a lot of these tickets, and it's kind of a hit or miss with the Amtrak tickets pricing sometimes. So, I mean, I can understand why people don't enjoy or like Amtrak, but it's like, it's what we got.
For me, it was that Viewliner 2 I was on was freshly refurbished. It had brand new seats in it, the retrofitted plugs in it, the train had Wi-Fi. It was a freshly done car, and it was so miserable to ride in that the first thing I did when I got into DC, before I even left the train station, I went to the Amtrak counter and paid $600 to upgrade to sleeper for the Lakeshore, just to ensure I would not be in another incident.
Oh man, yeah, and $600. I mean, that's a first class round trip ticket on most carriers. So it's just getting that much. And look, the sleepers are very nice, to sleep in on Amtrak. But I mean, these have been, dude, these are the same sleeper cars that I've been in since I was like 7 years old. They haven't changed them.
Flipping back and forth between those two pictures, that is the entirety of one meal for $45, plus a prepackaged ground meat and a gas station salad.
Oh.
And on Amtrak dinners, you get a soft drink and a beer or a wine.
Oh, right. Well,
East End, your beer is a 16-ounce can. Now, if we flip back to the other picture,
okay,
with that beautiful steak.
You already enjoyed like a good portion of it here, but thank you for getting it, at least.
I get tall boy of Heineken, fresh cooked steak, 3-course meal, traditional 5-star dining service, like how Rail's supposed to be. That giant piece of cheesecake, fried cocktail shrimp, all freshly made, none of it's microwaved. It's what it uses the benefits of being on a train for transport. And what scares me about the West Coast, west of Chicago, maybe finally getting funding, is we're going to get new cars. And that means all of these luxuries that we have out west are going to go away, and it's going to be the exact same miserable experience on the east side, where it's just been airlineified, trying to simplify everything.
Right, so they're bringing in all these Amfleet upgrades, and with them, they're also taking away services as well. So while you do at least still get some sort of service, at least west of Chicago, east of Chicago, I mean, Amtrak food is Amtrak food, but I mean, it takes a new low when you get towards the east end, and you're not getting too much afterwards. So, I mean, I can see where the concern is, that it's kind of a Trojan horse with this. By the way, I have not seen the Odyssey. I will not see the Odyssey. There is no way you can make me see the new film. Troy was good. There's been so many good renditions of the Odyssey. I have no care to go ahead and see the new slop. I don't care. So anyway, but I had to bring a Trojan horse reference in there.
If you want to see the Odyssey, just watch Over the Road, though.
There you go. All righty. So Daniel, anything else that you'd like to add? We're at the 9 o'clock hour. I think we'll get through a little bit of the nuclear power stuff, but is there anything that you wanted to add?
Honestly, it's new equipment on Amtrak scares me and all of the employees just because of the disparity in service and the reliability of the equipment.
All right, and the new equipment is less reliable, you're saying, than the new one. I'm sorry, than the old ones, correct?
All of the aero cars and even the train sets that have been going out, they're having problems, and they're having problems in service.
Okay.
It's not going to fix the rolling stock issue. If we actually wanted to fix Amtrak, I hate to give credit to Chicago, but those have SD70 Mox, the freight rebuilds where they just re-gear them at HPE. Way better cost savings, way better end result. And in all honesty, we should have kept the heritage fleet and just actually taken it serious on rebuilding those.
Alrighty. Well, there you have it, folks. You heard it here on the American Rail Club. And Daniel, thank you so much for coming on board and sharing this all with us. This was great to see your experience from the Great American Fair and going on Amtrak. So if any of you guys also want to share any of your experiences on Amtrak, I know Adam has gone recently on Amtrak. He's sharing some stuff there. The chat of the food could be better on Amtrak. Does Amtrak have a full kitchen and not just a microwave? But yeah, Daniel, thank you for coming on board.
Oh, thank you for having me, and it's been a pleasure. West of Chicago, no microwave. East of Chicago, microwave.
Okay, so there you go. All right, so we'll go ahead and move forward on. Well, I'll go like through 15 minutes of like some of the nuclear and electric stuff over here. But yeah, okay. So Daniel, we're gonna put you back here in the audience, and then we'll bring you back in for the last part of the show. We'll go until about 10 o'clock, guys, and then a hard stop at 10, and then we'll call it a night from there. But Daniel, thank you for coming on. We'll have you back on in just a bit. All right, so real quick, guys, let me just go through some of the stuff because we've been talking about electricity. I know we should probably talk about water at some point because that is also important and that is a part of infrastructure. But, I mean, it would not be an American Rail Club live stream if we did not bring up...
The N-word. You know what the N-word is? It's no. It's the nuclear word. He mentioned the N-word yesterday.
The nuclear word. Alrighty, guys. So, and we have to talk about data centers too because it's becoming a part of everybody's life. I'm pretty sure. I mean, where else are they going to store all your flock camera footage on at this point anyway? And I don't know if you guys want to mention flock. I mean, look. You know what you got to do. Anyway, so let's get to it over here real quick. I'm going to try to blast through as much of this as possible while trying to be as coherent as possible. But in my neck of the woods, they're now talking about having a data center here in Hancock County, right next to Indianapolis. And where I live is further away, comfortably far enough away from Indianapolis where I don't have to suffer living in Indianapolis. But because I live technically right next to a cornfield, it's cheap enough land that they can go ahead and start trying to buy up and try to get some data centers going in. So people are not at all thrilled anywhere. You go to any farm or any piece of large tract of land anywhere here, and you're going to see no data center signs all over the place. But because of this, people, again, you go to any of these commission meetings. I've said this and I've told you guys this for the last 10 or so years that I've gone to commission meetings before. There's usually nobody there. But for this type of stuff, now it gets packed, and it should be packed. These commissioners should be grilled on this. And obviously so, because, of course, if you look at these commissioners, well, there's a lack of youth and masculine energy, you can say, in most of these commissioners that you see across the United States. I think America just has a big energy problem. It's a low energy problem in more ways than one. But again, people just seem to be upset about this, and rightfully so. And you get, again, a whole lot of people. There's even younger people that are getting now involved with this. Speaking at the committee, I'm not going to go too much into this article over here, but you're darn sure I'm going to get involved in this and just at least see what's going on and talk to folks about this. Because the problem with this, with these data centers, and now that they're getting enough flack, or flock, and flock is also getting enough flack. We'll leave that for another time. They're trying to go ahead and pretend that they're doing all the everything of getting a part of the backlash and getting away from that, and saying they're doing all the social necessities in order to do that. So they have a social responsibility, and that we're gonna be committed to concerns about driving opposition to data centers, including the pressure on electrical grids and water supplies and the higher costs for customers. And we're gonna make sure we care. And it's the same thing when it comes to like the merger for Union Pacific or Norfolk Southern. They're always coming out from a position of bad faith, and there should be an absolute moratorium in any place. And if you're living in any sort of county or anything, you should push for a full-on moratorium, because these companies have not proven and will not prove that they have done the necessary responsibilities that they've needed to push through in order to say that they're going to be a good steward and a good community member, and they're not. They're here for the money. They're here for the quick change using the data center. Look, 5.8 gigawatts. Data center power pipeline to 5.8 gigawatts during the second quarter, and started on $1.6 billion of logistics and data center development. So, for those of you who are not too familiar with how electricity works, I'll give it a very, very simplified version of it. 5.8 gigawatts. If you watch a certain trilogy, Back to the Future, is a lot of power. Okay, and how much power? Well, the largest nuclear power plant that we have, or the newest one that we have in the United States, has a maximum capacity of about 4.6 gigawatts. And that's separated between 4 reactors. So one reactor is about 1.1 gigawatts. So in order to get that amount of power, you'd have to have at least 6, if not, because that's the maximum. So these data centers are not running at the 5.8 gigawatts all the time, but they can run that much. They're probably running around maybe 3 or 4 if they're at that much. But this is the problem: is that we don't have anywhere towards the capacity that we need to at some point. Okay, we are going to run out of capacity really, really quickly. Now, the United States in total for just nuclear energy is one in this. You can tell it's obviously a Claude-made website over here, but at least you can see. Let me make sure that I have this correctly so you guys can see what's going on OBS. Just real quick, let's make sure we got this on the right way. It's obviously a Claude-made website. I mean, heck, even the logo over here looks sort of like the puckered anus sphincter whatever logo that all these AI companies tend to have. But you can tell. So in total, let me see if we can put everything. Let me see if we can get everything in total for the United States. How about just everything? Okay. Regardless, the United States still has a lot of water it can spare, but it's quickly dwindling down, and that's not the problem also too. I mean, even Japan, after what it went through with the Fukushima tsunami back in 2011, is still reeling from that, and they have to rebuild nuclear power plants in order to meet the growing demand. When we have a major shortage because of the demand for, especially in the next 15 years. The next 15 years, it's being said that America is going to spend, or will have to spend, about as much as it's spent since the beginning, since it became electrified 150 years ago. It is going to have to spend that much in order to meet the growing demand for everything. So when this comes to when this comes to electric vehicles and electrifying the rail lines and passenger rail lines that we have, there's a lot to contend with, and there has to be a need for nuclear energy. Now, there's new, and I'm going to go through this really quick, but you guys can see this if you want. There's new technologies coming out quickly, but not quickly enough. We are not moving anywhere quickly enough in order to meet that demand. Next gen molten salt reactor designed to generate 300 to 500 megawatts from nuclear waste. So that's half a gigawatt right there. But yeah, the thing is, it's not just the capacity, because horsepower, like in a car, it's like your car. If your car has 300 horsepower, just because you turn it on doesn't mean it's making 300 horsepower. Just like we have all these this wattage available. The issue that we're having in the United States is the transmission of that amount of wattage. Because all the transmission lines across the United States, we've said this before, most of them date back to the 1970s. As with most of the infrastructure that has been built here in the United States, the peak of it, of building infrastructure here in the United States, dates to about the 1970s. Okay? The grid is 100 years old in some places. Most of it, the components are pushing 40 to 70 years old. 70% of the U.S. electrical grid is more than 50 years old. More than 50 years old. I mean, think about that. Okay? There are boomers that are younger than the electrical grid for most of it. Okay? So that's a good amount, and that's kind of scary. Okay, 40 to 70 years old. So I mean, you're even talking about like some millennials, like the oldest of the oldest millennials. Okay, that's how far we're dating back with this stuff. But I mean, it's not good that we're dealing with this right now, because everything is kind of coming to a head with the United States of where we're going to be. I know we just talked about 250 and we celebrated the 250. But the next 10 years or so, the United States are going to be contentious. And it's going to be less about what's happening during that time and what's going to be the United States afterwards. Okay? Because, again, the contention is going to be, okay, what's the next form of the United States? Because I think, and everybody can agree, we cannot build anything with our current system right now. The political structure right now, and let's play that, there we go. Here we are. There just isn't. There just isn't. So South Carolina just voted in for Graham again, Lindsey Graham's sister again. Not that the opponent was a good idea either. I mean, it was another a real estate developer boomer. Okay, so it's like basically the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. I mean, that's the greatest of choices that we have here in the United States. And you have younger candidates. Like Fishback in Florida, like Casey Putsch over in Ohio, they have been able to very much win the younger cohort, or Thomas Massie over in Kentucky, but they cannot compete against the older neocon forces within the Republican Party and the general stupidity in the Democrat Party, LARPing as if they're communists. But I mean, this is what we're contending with at this point. America has a choice, and the choices that are being given now to the young people is eat your $20 burrito and enjoy your $4 gas because we need to go to the war for the greatest ally, or go with the third worldist LARPing as communists that are just basically here to just take as much free stuff out of the United States as possible. So I think things are gonna get crazy, and people are upset. Now, the thing is that how very delicate the United States infrastructure and our, because I've said this before, it's not that we're crumbling, we have crumbled. Okay, it's just a matter of it's like basically the ashes of a log that are just put to there, and if you blow on it, the ashes will blow away. It's already burnt out, but it's still kind of there. There's still a shape there left. Okay, this is how contentious things can get. Because on April 2013, for those of you in California, you may remember this, an attack carried out on the Pacific Gas and Electric Company's Metcalf transmission substation in Coyote, California. Okay, a team of gunmen using rifles opened fire on the Metcalf transmission station, severely damaging 17 transformers. Long story short, after shooting at this with what seems to be 7.62 by 39, it seems to be they were with not AKs. Darn it! What's the other one? Now I'm forgetting it. You could have bought you could have bought them for like $50 before. Norinco, SKSs. Yeah, it was probably SKSs that they were shooting this with. I mean, with the basically garbage rods going in there and basically shutting down the substations for a couple of weeks. Now, they were able to get the 17 transformers severely damaged, requiring $15 million worth of repairs. To avert a blackout, Energy Grid officials had to reroute power from the nearby Silicon Valley-based power plants. Again, this is Silicon Valley. This is San Francisco. It took them a while to go ahead and fix this up, but there was a study that came out very shortly after that in 2013. And again, this is from August 25th, 2026. So this is new. So people are starting to think about this again. Experts warned the U.S. grid could face an 18-month blackout scenario. Again, it took 27 days restoring that single substation. 27 days in San Jose. So it's just to think about how, again, 20 minutes it just took them with their SKS is just, blasting that. And the SKSs are not as accurate as people who love them care to say. Maybe you're getting a 2.5 MOA out of that. They're not that good, but I mean, the substation is not moving. It is not a moving target. It is just right there, and there's not that much security around it. Okay? But it doesn't take that much. Some of these units weigh up to £500,000 pounds. Okay, so if again, this is not good, and there's not too many. We don't have our manufacturing base here, so to manufacture all the new equipment to go ahead and again, we can build as many nuclear power plants as we need to. And that's taking way too much time because these data centers pop up in 1 to 2 years, where it takes a nuclear power station anywhere between like 15 years. So the mismatch there, hello, we're not doing well with that. So yeah, and there's 9. I think if I remember what was it correctly. Let me see. If I remember correctly, okay, here we go. 9 such attacks coordinated around the U.S. grid's 3 interconnections could black out the entire country. So 9 substations, that's all it takes. Everybody knows this. This is an open secret. You don't think Iran and China and Russia and our great ally also too? Because who knows? Who knows if it's actually going to be Iranians actually shooting down anything? I mean, it's Moishheim. It's a very very Iranian name, and they're going to be the dancing Iranians that are going to be throwing down these substations. I digress. But anyway, this is how fragile things are. And I kind of had a little bit of a wake-up call with this 2 weeks ago. I know I told you guys I had a little bit of a power outage. Now, I'm a little bit more prepared than most people, I could say. But the thing is, you're not going to believe what caused this power outage, because we were all talking about, what could have caused this power outage. And, drum roll please, this power outage, guess what it was caused by, or at least what we know, it was... here we go. Oh, no, I missed it here. Oops, okay, my bad. Okay, there it is, guys. Cause. Here we are. Let me do it again. Here we are. Issue a power outage cause. Small animal or bird. A small animal or bird took out 2,773 customers. Now, multiply that by about 4 or 3, because it's families. We're talking about 10,000 people, because... I mean, according to what they say, a small animal or bird, or could have been a 22 LR. I mean, who knows? Who knows what they're telling us, if we could even believe that. If it was a small animal or bird. That took it. I mean, again, just to let you guys know, this is how fragile we are. I don't know what's more fragile, our U.S. grid, or let me see, let's put it up again, the Arc de Trump, here. Here we are. There we are. Again, thank you, Daniel, for coming on and bringing on these pictures over here. But yeah, and again, the DOE, Department of Energy, literally warns that blackouts could increase by 100 times in 2030. 2030 is 4 years away. For those counting, not 3 years and 4 months away. We're 3 years and 4 months away to turning into Cuba. So start getting up on your salsa and your cumbia and rumba, because you're going to be doing a lot of that in candlelight and in the dark. That's according to the Department of Energy over here, 100 times. Now, again, this could be an exaggeration, but I mean, it's very real. It's very real. So that's again, just keeping you guys in the loop of things that are going on, and we all need to be worried about, because we're past the point, and I know I'm past the point, so we have to bring people on board. We are past the point of being able to realistically fix our infrastructure. We're done. We're not fixing it within our political current structure now. So let's get that out of your head. Neither the Trump administration or any other administration, the time to do it was maybe 10 years ago. Maybe 10 years ago in Trump 1.0, we had the chance to do it. It's too late. It is far beyond pragmatically too late to effectively fix our infrastructure right now with our current. It will have to be in whatever comes in within the next 10 years or so. Who knows? Who knows what this could be? But at the very least, all of us here have to at least be somewhat prepared and start learning how to be able to figure out yourselves, and with family and friends getting together. Because a small animal, a bird, or a 7.62 by 39, who knows? Who knows what can happen, guys? Because things are going to get dicey, and we all should be more prepared of what's going on. But that's I'm going to leave it at that, guys. So let's bring everybody up on board. Let me get their back view on here. Before I do that, let's read the YouTube comments, because everybody says I don't read the YouTube comments over here. Demetrius, any thoughts or opinions on the 2029 Cocoa train? The Cocoa train from Fort Collins to Denver looks very promising. I'm not too familiar with that. I'm going to be honest. I am not too familiar with the 2029 Cocoa train is. I'll have to look that up and see. Do we need data centers or farms? I know the answer depending on the state. Well, here's the thing. The farms that we have are growing the same two things. It's either corn or soy. And the two biggest subsidized, you want to talk about welfare queens. And again, I don't mean this as like, the farm, look, we need farming. We need farmers. That's absolutely important. But we don't need high fructose corn syrup. We don't need a whole bunch of ethanol in our fuel. It's not good for the cars. It's not good for the environment. It's not good for, and then the amount of damage that is done. Again, the water runoff from all these. And I have family that lives, and they have a farm and a little place nearby. When it rains, you see a lot of like chemicals in the creek that they have out back behind their property, and it's bubbly, and it's just and weird. It's because of all the chemicals and pesticides that they put into the corn in order to keep it up. All that Monsanto corn and all that all the chemicals that they're putting into there. That water is not going to be really, you have to filter it a good bit in order to actually drink that. And you don't want to. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead into that. We need farms, but we need good farms.
Add on to that?
Go ahead, Minor
You
Tree.
want me to add on to the ethanol part?
Add in.
Well, for those that don't know, nearly half the corn grown in the United States is just for the ethanol alone. And we've known since the United States Department of Energy did a report on it back in, I think, 2014, and they determined that it takes 1.7 units of fuel, whether you want to use gallons, liters, it doesn't matter, 1.7 to create 1 gallon of fuel. So you're already at a loss in terms of efficiency alone. And we still haven't gone even to the 1-to-1 ratio yet. So those that are saying we need ethanol in order to lower our emissions, one, it doesn't really do that.
No, it probably does worse, because all the diesel that you need in order to go ahead and farm and get that get it all processed. It's insane.
Yeah, plus the ethanol burns at a lower temperature than the regular gasoline, so you get lower fuel mileage. The emissions is slightly higher after everything's said and done, but it's a different set of emissions. So at best, you're getting a more expensive, less efficient fuel that is worse for the environment. And that's supposed to save the environment.
Yeah.
So your environmental argument is wrong. Gas, you're on average spending about an extra 25 to 30 cents per gallon for the ethanol in your fuel. Now we've known this for over a decade. Now I want you to think back. How many gallons of fuel did you put in your vehicle since then?
Oh, in a decade?
Now imagine
No, I
that,
can't.
imagine an additional quarter taken out of your pocketbook every single gallon. For over a decade, we've known this.
Yeah.
We've done nothing.
It's not
Except
good.
for the
Yeah,
fact
and-
that we've gone from 10% to 15%.
Oh yeah, that's going to be the other thing. Now they're going to go up to 15% on the ethanol, so it's not going to be E10. Now it's going to be E15. Look, and for those of you guys who run, E85 or whatever, okay, wonderful. That is great. Wonderful for you guys doing that. But for the rest of everybody else that likes their regular fuel, no, this is not good for most of the country that we're on, and it's just a way to subsidize farming in not a good way when we should be growing. The whole thing with this. Very much that the country has become so interdependent amongst itself that, again, when it comes to the substations and everything else, if one thing were to fail, it goes down like a whole block of dominoes. So if we don't have ways to be able to not only feed ourselves, which, by the way, you guys are going to have to enjoy all that wonderful Argentinian beef that's coming in. We have to help the Argentinian farmers, not our own farmers, not our beef farmers. You guys are going to love it. All that churrasco you're going to get, it's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. You're going to be crapping out for 3 hours. The plumbers are going to have a great time with your Argentinian beef product. It's great. It's wonderful. So yeah, we're not in a good spot. So anyway, all right. Minor trade. Anything else you want to add before we bring everybody else on?
Other than the fact that everyone who's saying, "Oh, then go battery electric vehicles," they're demanding that we have batteries that still do not exist. And even if the company announced that they got the battery chemistry that makes all of the batteries completely obsolete, and they announced it by no later than Friday, you're still talking 2 to 5 years to bring it to market.
Yeah,
so that's not the issue.
At best, yeah.
Yeah. But before we bring on people, I got notified at the beginning of the stream that it is somebody's birthday today.
Yep, that is. Alrighty, so let's...
So we want to do bad singing just with us two? Or should we bring everyone else on to sing?
Let's bring everybody else on but the birthday boy in order to go ahead and give the birthday boy a happy birthday. Let's do that.
Okay. Right, let's see. Let's bring people on. Yep. And yep.
There you go.
Okay, here's the thing.
Hi, everybody. Can you ever hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Last week was actually my birthday. Was last week. But I was on
Well,
night.
that's a little late.
We'll sing happy birthday for you, but happy birthday to David, who is having his birthday today. So everybody at the same time, and anybody who wants to join on in, raise your hand up. We'll sing happy birthday for David, and then we will bring David up. So, all right, 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to David. Happy birthday to you.
That wasn't the prettiest one, but
Oh, we did what we could with the latency, so there you go. All right, David, now you're on. Welcome aboard, finally. There you go. Happy birthday, man.
Oh boy. I gotta talk about a lot of stuff with y'all today for my birthday. It was crazy.
All right. It was, must have had a great time, man.
Before we get to the good stuff, let's get the bad saying out of the way today. Dolly Parton have passed today.
All right, F's in the chat for Dolly Parton. F's in the chat.
Yeah,
country legend.
But
the person
let
that had a clone sheep named after him, the only one in the world.
That's true. That's true.
But-
Do we clone Dolly Parton? I
but
mean,
let
she wasn't very much a piece of Americana. That is for sure.
See, it
That
was
is
just
for sure.
revealed she actually died of cancer.
Yep.
I mean,
But
she was
now that we
80,
have
so I mean,
that-
look, she. I mean, I know
She
that
didn't wanna
it's a
fight
good
it.
one.
You know, she didn't want to fight
But-
it. I think she just knew her time had come.
Yeah, that's a
But
fair
let's
way
get
to
to
go
this
out,
stuff
on your own
now.
terms. So yeah, that's in the
Yep.
chat for Dolly Parton.
I
I think she just chose to die peacefully. She chose to die peacefully.
But I will just say this: the day was crazy because one, we also had a SpaceX launch till morning, right before I
really?
got up.
Wait, what?
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
yep. Then
Where'd that
also,
go?
if you're over the East Coast, a lot of people saw it right before sunrise. But also, if you're in Paris, France, the day is Liberation Day, the 82nd anniversary of Liberation Day in Paris, France. If
France.
y'all are World War II nuts.
I'm pretty sure France and Paris feels very liberated right now in 2026. Who's in Paris? Who's in Paris right now?
Oui.
Oh man.
Wee. But what? But oh god, y'all got Bell going. But let me just say this. What we did for but let me just say that what we did for my birthday today, we went to. You ever heard of Dimitri didn't know about downtown Somerville because of his old job, but me and Val, we took the bus from where I live to downtown Somerville. The smaller area, it's still part of Charleston, but it one of our biggest mixed-use downtowns out of the city. It literally a 40-minute drive from downtown Charleston, but we did not drive there. We took the bus. We literally took all buses all the way to downtown Somerville. And it took about 3 hours.
Okay, that was gonna be my question. How long did it take? So 3 hours. Oh, man.
We left Ravenel around 8:30. The bus were running late about 20 minutes, but it took around 3 hours because we did not get into Somerville until around 11:30. So it was 3 hours. Funny thing is that here at Crazy Dane, I got home 18 minutes right after the live stream started, but it only took from downtown Somerville to where I live by Uber. It took only less than 25 to 30 minutes by Uber.
Yeah, and
to
that's what
get
it should
from
take.
there to
Honestly,
here.
if they had it by train or streetcar, that's what it should be.
I know.
Before we continue, guys, does anybody want to ask any questions to Daniel on his experience with the Great American Fair or with Amtrak?
Was it like bad? People were saying it was bad, and the people who are saying it bad, were they just like they were really looking for something to criticize it of, or
There
was it really
were
that bad?
there were objectively bad parts about it, like the over-the-top security for an area that didn't need that much security, and the colossal waits in the sun with no water because you couldn't bring in your own water bottle. Those parts
Yeah,
were
that
objectively bad. The crowd control was objectively bad. For how long you had to wait in line with the security, especially if you lined up
Just to
at
get
the
into
opening
it?
time. You
That-
could call it bad, but when you're actually we're in it and we're enjoying it and talking with other people, because it's a fair, talk to random people, enjoy your time, meet fellow Americans.
I'm just trying to understand from like the videos and the photos, like saying, "Oh, it's so empty, it's so empty." Was it really that empty, or was security really holding back that many people?
Security was really holding back that many people, and whenever you went in one of the booths, if there wasn't one of the every 15-minute or every 30-minute flyovers,
Wow.
All of the routes were completely jam-packed, and even the worst states had at least a 10 to 20-minute line to get in. Or
Mhm.
even just a big, like, family, faith values, American industry, American history, American future and technology.
That
The big three monolith booths on the other side of the Trump Arch, those were 100% crowded the entire time. There was a huge
Oh,
line
wow.
trying to states for the rodeo that got canceled.
Why did that?
Because
Was that because of rain?
no, it was just too hot for the animals to be able to perform.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they
as
did.
a
Did they not?
Charleston,
Did they not have like any barns or something like, or were they
Oh
just
no,
horse
with,
they
trailers?
had
with
barns
this,
and trailers like a couple blocks away, but there was nowhere to store the animals on site. And since there's no shade on the mall, it was an unfortunate series of weather, poor planning, and not the best decision making, and a lack of
Oh,
yeah, and
cooperation.
as a Charlestonian, someone who was born in South Carolina, I'll agree with him on this. Is that yeah, if you work around farms or have helped animal or like been part of school
yeah.
programs where they went to farms, is that when it gets too hot, they will not bring no animals out. Heck,
No,
even
those
when it comes to
animals, those
divorce
poor
carriages
things.
here in
Like,
Charleston. But I do want to get back to what me and Val did.
hang
When
on.
we got to downtown,
Yep.
I do want to bring up my story because one, I want to talk about what we did for my birthday.
All right, David.
Like,
David, real quick, because we got a lot of other people here that also want to opine
oh, I
There's a
into.
know, I know,
lot
I'm
of. I
trying,
know you're so excited, dude. You just
I know, but
you
I'm
have to
trying to be
remember
quick.
what time.
All right. 2 minutes,
I
man.
know.
2 minutes. I'm giving you 2 minutes. Go ahead.
All right. Is that me and Val? We walked around downtown Somerville with Web Pleasant. We went to a pizza plate for dinner, but for lunch we went to. And here's the thing: we went for lunch. We went to a burger place. I have it on video blog. The video should be uploaded by tomorrow or tomorrow night. But me and Val walking around downtown Somerville. Plus, I tried to do the rail fanning. I was able to catch 2 trains, but I missed 3 other trains because 2 of them we were in an ice cream shop eating ice cream, and 2 trains came by 30 minutes apart, and I said, "Ah, oh, dang it!" And then in the pizza plate, well, I would get it done, and I did catch this train on the video blog right toward the end because me and Val eating. It came by, so ended up missing 3 trains, but I did caught 2 trains in the morning. So that was still pretty good, but it was pleasant to walk around downtown Somerville with me if I were going to try to do that more often, you know?
Mhm.
And it walkable in a small walkable area that it built for people, but you know, if you add like commuter rail and stuff like from downtown Taunton to downtown Somerville, that would benefit a lot
Yeah. All
in my
right.
area.
Okay, there we are. Time's up. There. Appreciate it, though. That is nice to hear
You're
about
welcome.
at least
Appreciate it.
downtown Somerville, because it does look like a very cute little downtown area with some good walkability. All righty. So
It is.
let's keep going here.
The world's largest ET.
All right, let's go. Star Force. Anything you would like to add?
Yes, in my neck of the woods, I found out that there is a company startup for the O'Hare Flyer, which is supposed to be an express train that would link O'Hare Airport Terminal 2 and downtown Chicago, specifically Union Station.
And I'm gonna guess that's gonna get shot down so fast by Metra and the CTA.
The thing is, it's
Probably will.
it's more of a private company, and they're looking to consult with the freight railroads, CSX, Union Pacific, and Canadian
So Metra
National.
is gonna have. You know what's gonna happen? Metra and CTA are gonna start offering a service to Chicago, and they're gonna try and have offer something cheaper.
Well, so
And
let's,
then they're gonna
let's
run it, and
Not
then,
the
and
hard
then,
line.
then get
hold
ready for
on,
this.
everybody.
They're
Hold
gonna
on.
run it for like they're gonna
Wait
operate
a
the
second.
service for
Wait
2
a second.
years and then stop running it.
All right, hold
Yeah,
on.
Actually,
Logistical man, real
actually-
quick. Okay,
Probably
so
right.
hold on. We got Adam's article over here on the O'Hare Flyer. Let me just go through it real quick so we're all on the same page over here. The latest proposal describes the O'Hare Flyer as the first airport express train in the U.S. Proponents said it will provide a 15-minute ride between downtown at the Loop on a whisper quiet train on a dedicated track. So I guess they're going to run it straight through as an express rail line between the Loop and straight to O'Hare, because there's no way it's going to make 15 minutes with stops.
But the only,
There's-
the only, I mean, I'm just saying, I like the idea, but then you're gonna get Metra and CTA finally be like, oh, there's someone trying to compete with us. Here, let's offer the same
Yep.
service. And then what's gonna happen is they're gonna beat them out by having cheaper tickets. And because then people are like, oh wait, why do I bother with taking this private carrier when now Metra is offering the same thing and I can take a Metro? Oh,
Yeah, but I don't think Metro's going to take at the time. I mean, it will take, an hour, but you'll
I read
spend
this
what?
morning.
Yep, loud
I
and
mean,
clear.
that's true, but still, like Metro will have like a connection at somewhere along a way at a major stop, and then he will be like, "Oh, I don't need to take this 15-minute because my connection is like, let's example, what's the stop that's near? Yeah,
Well, while you look that up, Daniel, did you want to opine on this?
Yeah, so I read this article this morning, and the two things that got me was
Oh, I got
the
some
last
good
one
memes
you
for
read,
y'all.
All right, David, hold on. Wait, David. All right, go ahead, Daniel.
Dedicated right away. How the hell are you going to do that in Chicago, trying to keep this PG-13? Are you going to just build an elevated track over everything existing? Are you going to tunnel? That's going to balloon cost beyond all reason. This is just going to be a eventual capital sinkhole. And in the last paragraph of this article, battery electric train.
Oh, don't
And then-
don't
and
say that around
no,
here.
let's- okay,
I got
That's
the
the curse
station.
word around here.
Oh, man.
Hey, I found a good example here.
Excited. for
Okay,
this
go ahead.
because
Do we
I
have
All
to
right.
send them to Milwaukee Road?
every 2
Okay,
years.
guys, one at a time, or I'm going to put on a chicken jockey. Okay, so a logistical man, go ahead.
Say I lived in Galewood or the Galewood station, and I wanted to go to the airport. Well, I wouldn't want to go to downtown to take that train to the airport. I would rather take the Metro that would go right to the airport. So it's kind of just, when will Metro do it? And then that puts the private carrier out of business, essentially out of business, and then Metro will run it for like a year or two, at least probably a year and a half, and they
Saturday,
just
right?
cut it.
Because I'm getting the scooter. Look,
Because
I'm getting the.
then they'll bump up the price once they're the only one doing it.
I think
right now, Metra, just to add to that, right now, Metra's North Central service is the only train that serves the O'Hare Airport. It takes 42 minutes looking at the normal schedule here. So that's
They
that.
could bump up.
It
They
does
could
make
bump it
multiple
up by
stops.
running.
And actually, and not to mention, the blue line to downtown is actually faster by 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And not to mention that
That is a
the
yikes.
Metra did run service only between O'Hare and Union Station during the Democratic National Convention when it was held back in 2024.
Yeah. The
Oh,
main,
yeah,
the
I
main
remember that.
problem.
See,
Hold on. The main problem with this
the main
is that there's been multiple plans. Even the article mentions Elon Musk's Hyperloop, which I'm glad that's not being talked about anymore. I think that's
no one. No,
That got-
the
that got
Hyperloop
shot down
guy.
in
that's as good as dead. And then he tried to bring in his little his Tesla tunnels, which I mean, anybody who's gone to Vegas and seen that, it's kind of a bit of a joke. I mean, it's nice to get around the Vegas Convention Center, but that's about it. That's as good as it
and
works.
then,
I mean, that's kind of
then
silly.
don't forget this. Like, you're in Chicago, Illinois. Why are you owning an electric car in a city that's probably one of the coldest cities in North America?
Well, let's be fair. Remember, logistical man. We talked about this before with Norway. That has we talked about like sovereign wealth funds and how Norway has like the biggest sovereign wealth fund of like $2.2 trillion, and they also have the largest electric fleet in the world with like more than almost half of all the cars that people drive in Norway being Teslas.
At least over a third. Or
yeah, it's like it's at least 40-something%. So it has nothing to do with the weather. It has to do with their electrical system, and their infrastructure is far better than Chicago, which is right next to Gary. Which, by the way, the reason why Gary is not getting electricity is because the residents of Gary have been actively shooting at any of the people trying to fix this. So this is Gary, Indiana. This is again a Gary issue. So I mean, you'll have no electricity, just like Flint, Michigan has no water for the same reason. So oh well.
And they're like, why they're cutting off power to the black people? No, they're not.
Okay.
You dumbass are the ones shooting at
There's
them.
no other way to power up the flying pyramids of Gary, Indiana, because they're stealing the electricity from there. So anyway.
They're just like shooting at them. It's like, why are you shooting the person that's trying to give you power?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's again.
You
Chicago.
don't have to use power to your own home. That's your own choice. But what if at least the people around you?
That's just
your homies that like
logistical man. That's just a Gary problem. So yeah, I don't think honestly this has 100% chance of not going anywhere.
All power to Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, but
all
back,
power to Gary, Indiana.
Back to this O'Hare flyer. It's not happening. It is not happening.
No. It will not happen. They won't. It'll die. It'll die in a heartbeat because they also have to get a station within O'Hare. The only way it would happen is if like O'Hare International Airport owners said, "This is great. This is better." Like we're to say, "This is better than the CTA. Let's do it," and we're to give him a direct spot or their own spot where they could have their own station.
Yeah, this is not happening. Okay, we got less than 15 minutes here, so yeah, go ahead, Adam.
All right, I got two funny memes.
All right, hold on.
Another one?
Real quick, any more questions for Daniel here before we move on to any more articles?
Yes, I had one. Besides the people not being able to handle heat like normal humans, are you saying that the
This is a fine and normal human, minor?
well, Texans are normal humans, but
no.
Buddy, just wait. Hang on, just wait.
Shots fired. Okay, minor tree. Go ahead.
Yeah, but are you saying Amtrak is choosing between either a microwave oven or a toaster oven to heat your food?
A car?
Yeah.
The Superliners are the last rail cars left on Amtrak that were designed by railroaders who knew how railroads work and wanted railroads to succeed.
And wasn't it like I thought Superliners they used to have like I wouldn't call it a full kitchen. It was like a half kitchen.
Oh no, they still have a full kitchen. That steak was fresh cooked.
Oh, they do.
How it was cooked. I chose medium rare.
I'm saying,
The only way to eat a steak, thank you, medium rare, guys. A burger or steak must be medium rare. Maybe rarer than that, but anything more than that, you're gonna destroy it. So no, medium rare is the right choice. Thank you, Daniel.
Anything less than that, and you need to see a doctor.
It depends.
Yep. All right. Dimitri. All right.
Anybody,
I got the two
on.
memes which are super funny.
Wait. I heard somebody else. Adam, did you have a question, or did Grant Trunkline? Did you have a question?
I don't have a question. I don't have a question.
Okay. All right.
I was making a comment.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm saying.
All right. I got two.
David. Let's let Adam speak real quick. Go ahead.
Sorry.
The thing with diamond cars is that they're not always the same. They do not always have a functional kitchen, They may have a microwave, but that depends on the car and who makes them.
For Superliner?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Super Lions, Free
Living in
Lions.
blood.
Yeah,
I've
I don't
never.
know about blood, but it's
That is
whoever has a
true.
kitchen. Either full function or not, but
Sure.
you know how much space
At
oven
least
takes up.
Zephyr, we've never not had a full kitchen. Mileage
That
may
is
vary
true.
outside of that,
but-
Saying it doesn't take
Right.
that much space versus
Yeah.
basically a tray.
Yeah, I mean it's not
Mhm.
good, and I think this is exactly what they're trying to do more with Amtrak. I know we've warned about this for years, but yeah, I mean it does look like these Superliners coming in are kind of a Trojan horse, where gone are the full-on kitchens, and in are just microwavable meals. Which, look, if you had, like the Shinkansens, they don't need a kitchen because you're going to get food on the platform on there, and it's going to be better than like any food that can be cooked anywhere else on a train. And B, you're going to be there so quick that you don't even need it. But in a country as large as ours, where we have like intercontinental, you have large trains, or let's say slower trains. And Japan is a pretty large country too, north to south. We're talking about about the size of the East Coast, tip to butt. But the thing is that if like a Shinkansen type of service, you don't need it. And Amtrak doesn't have anything like that, where it doesn't need a full-size kitchen. That if you're going from, let's say, Miami to New York, you do need a full-size kitchen. You're not having microwavable meals. It is not going to be good. So yeah, just service-wise, it's not a good idea to just go to microwavable meals when Amtrak doesn't have the speed to make up for that.
Well, did you see the
Superliner
fees are getting canceled? We're getting single
I
levels.
guess
like
we're not going to
everyone
get to it. I'm going to be.
All right, hold on, David. Hold on. Let Daniel finish real quick.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, but Superliner 3s aren't happening anymore. It's single level like everyone else in the future.
Oh man.
Yep. Single is gonna be
Yep.
fine, but as long as
that
it
is
has
true.
an actual kitchen.
Yeah.
As long as it has a kitchen but actual oven, then yes, people can actually eat the meals on train.
Okay, David, go ahead.
All right. Before we get to my article, because it is South Carolina short line train article, I got two funny memes right here.
All right, we got.
Or technically two. Oh.
Okay, we got. All right, David. I mean, first of all, effing chats for Dolly and Dolly. That was the thing I really missed when I was in Missouri the last time. I wanted to go to Branson and didn't have enough time, but I did enjoy Springfield. That is a pretty cool city to go to if you guys are in the town. Not less of a city, more of a town. If you guys ever have a chance to go to Springfield, Missouri, not Illinois, don't go to Springfield, Illinois. There is nothing in Springfield, Illinois. Don't go there.
Well, it's the state capital.
There is nothing to do in Springfield, Illinois. That's that. Look, I would rather go to Tallahassee than Springfield, Illinois. That's saying a lot. All right, David, what on earth are you putting here? What is this? This is what?
We don't
That
put
go
huge
fun me saying it fun.
Okay, well,
But
here's
also
We're not
the
putting
common
large
one I
orbs
did.
in the hood.
an orb for Gary Indiana to ponder over while they're thinking of shooting more electrical workers. All right, if this is I'm not going to click this spoiler, David. I'm just not.
Put the cashew back. Put a.
No.
I ain't clicking that.
It is common one, too.
I'm gonna put the diesel meme. I ain't clicking that. I ain't.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Hold on. All right.
It's
Hey,
common.
I have a perfect. I have
All
a-
right. Look, we're doing an
Oh,
article.
great.
We got 6 minutes before we have a hard stop over here. Okay, so rail consultant.
Oh, you got a hard job.
Okay, we're gonna go through this one real quick.
All right.
We got a minute, and then we're gonna go to another article. All right, real quick, guys. Rail consultant returns to lead South Carolina short line. The HDR executive for a railroad. Okay, so this is on the Palmetto Railways. A new executive.
Yep.
Oh, there you go, guys. Okay, so again,
I got a photo.
good things for short line railroads that are coming in. Let me see. He led
And
strategic
that
rail.
here in South Carolina.
Yeah, okay. Most recent, Ravenel served as East Region Freight Rail Market Sector Leader. That's a bit of a mouthful. For global engineering firm HDR, where he led strategic rail initiatives for Class 1 railroads, short line railroads, ports, transit agencies, industrial clients, and public sector transportation organizations throughout the eastern United States. That is all good amount of experience. I'm not quite sure about being strategic rail initiatives for Class 1 railroads in the year 2026 of what that entails. But best of luck to Palmetto Railways. Hopefully, for Tariq Ravenel, hopefully it's a good thing for Palmetto Railways. Alrighty. The next article while we're here, if anything else, Adam Everywhere was at the Washington Union Station. What on earth are we looking at over here?
Yeah, look at a locomotive.
Oh,
change.
Oh yeah, but by the way, that spoiler I put was the Troubleton's trucks talking.
Okay.
It
well-
was Troubleton's truck.
Yeah.
Okay, I
It was-
see.
About Lady.
I see. Terry, do you think
You
Lady
see
has
it,
forsaken some
it's
trucks by
funny.
not giving them sentence, or has Lady forsaken us with sentience? What makes you say that? Maybe Lady has forsaken us with sentience. Okay. Corey, that's it. That's deep, Thomas lore. That's gonna go over most people's heads, David. But anyway, okay.
But also before we do that, I got a photo of me and Vel in front of the world's largest sweet tea.
The world's, what did it actually
Right.
have? Sweet tea in there?
I wish.
No, but it. Yeah, look right here.
Okay.
Me and Vel,
World's largest sweet tea, guys. All right, next. We got that.
4 minutes.
We're getting there. All right, Adam.
I got one.
Here we are. Route 66 at Navy Pier in Chicago, where Route 66 begins. Now you have to go all the way over to Santa Monica Pier to get to the end.
That's a move.
Yep.
Good luck.
it-
I
it-
did it in here now in different sections of Route 66, but I technically did Route 66 from end to end. So there you go, guys. It is something that every American should do once in their life. You must take the Grand Tour, or go along Route 66. You have to do it.
But
Unless
it's
I forget-
in sections.
I-44 had to.
It still counts in sections. Look, I would like to do the whole thing, and I'm planning to do at least drive the whole thing once, but it counts. It counts. So we'll
yeah, but I have a farther way to go just to the start line.
you gotta fly there. Okay, so let's see. Anything else that anybody wants to talk about? We have 3 minutes.
We got 250th. We got 250th.
Anyone? Okay. Anyone else other than David? David, you extended a lot of time, man. Okay.
Besides, I think I already said
I'm
that.
sorry.
Grand Chunk Line, anything that you want to say? You've been quiet there. Hold on, guys. Grand Chunk Line, anything you want to say?
Nah, nothing.
Okay.
Just
We'll go back up the ladder. Logistical man, anything you want to add?
No, I don't think there was actually anything besides my fun late night last week. I got tossed on night.
Oh man.
Oof.
Training.
Welcome to the club,
purposes.
man. Welcome to the club.
Sucked for the week because all my sleep schedule was so broken.
You'll get through it, man. You'll get through it. Just think about
I
how
did.
it is.
I got through it. But at the end,
You'll
I
get
actually
there.
ended up twisting my foot.
Oh man.
Uh-huh.
Get some rest, man. All right, let's keep going up. Adam, everywhere. Anything that you want to opine on or add in?
I think I got plenty of photos, but I'm not sure you want to see all of them. But I always thought the ones that you might like, but I got more I could put down.
All right. Maybe.
I was mostly in Denver and Chicago.
All right. We'll see some more next time. But thank you for sharing those.
Well,
Those are some pretty good photos. Star Force 90. David, we were going to leave the
maybe
birthday
next time
boy
I
for
come back.
last. Do not worry. Star Force, anything you want to add?
Yeah.
I'm
I
excited.
am just hoping that hopefully this the O'Hare Flyer can actually go through. They have apparently they're saying that they could start construction as early as 2028, and it could take about 5 years to complete. Knowing how the past projects have gone, I could see it a lot later.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen enough. I'm just prematurely putting in RIP for the O'Hare flyer. It's DOA.
Has California High-Speed Rail gotten that one yet?
Yeah, I was trying to get the whole stream without talking about California High-Speed Rail. There's enough bad news on California High-Speed Rail, but we're not.
All right.
We'll leave that for another time.
So actually, I learned something. I did just actually learn this not too long ago.
Yeah,
I
we'll
just
talk about
remembered
that some other time because we got the two final memes
Hold
or
on.
250th.
All right, hold on. Daniel, again, thank you for coming up on board and sharing that all with us. Is there anything else you would like to add?
So actually, that O'Hare flyer,
Besides that,
right train, wrong station. It's not made for people in Chicago. It's made for people who have to go to the trade shows. It could work if it went to Millennium, so it's near the hotels and the trade center, McCormick Plaza.
That would make sense.
Okay, right.
Yeah, that's a point. You make a good point
What about
with that.
LaSalle?
It's
Yep.
like, they shouldn't, but that's not going to get many passengers if they do that. So
If you think of how often that trade show's used and how many people have to go to Chicago for work, conventions, things like that, I have to go there every 2 years. I know a bunch of other people have to go annually or more. It's not for the Chicagoan, it's for the person who has to go to Chicago
well,
for
even
business
still,
meetings and
Metra,
stuff like that.
but even still, Metra.
I said Metro can
Like-
take the service. They got express route there, I think.
Yeah, they
It's more
could,
the
because it's the CTA, but like I think
average
Metra would
business
probably
person
if
prefer the
Metra
public transit.
if Metra sees that it's actually popular and it goes through, Metra sees it's popular, they're gonna buy up that company so fast that it
I don't
wouldn't
know.
even feel like they existed for. It wouldn't even be a year.
Yeah. Look, hey. I mean, speaking of trade shows, APTA is a massive trade show for the American Public Transportation. I was almost about to go to that one for my last position, but things happened in that company that they're not doing too well anymore. So anyway, next thing, Minor Tree. Anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, besides resetting the clock on multiple things tonight, going back to a previous point, there's been a lot of advancements in the nuclear tech, so there's a possibility by as early as next presidential cycle we can start seeing some of the nuclear reactors start coming online, but that's being very generous, assuming they start construction no later than this time next year.
Yeah, again, unfortunately, the only thing is all the bureaucracy and everything they're required in order to get approval to even build a nuclear power plant, and then all the safety regulations that have to be. Again, we're talking about like a good 15 years for a full-on nuclear power plant from inception through acceptance to actually going online. So it is.
Yeah. Well, Trump's done some executive orders to deal with some of the issues, but a lot of the regulations is on the Congress side. So you need both houses of Congress to vote on the new laws, and they're not even going to touch that until at least after the midterm.
Yeah,
So
if they ever
do. Best case scenario, they're gonna get that law. Well, that law as a bill, and then probably send it to one of the committees, and at best we'd see it hit either the House or the Senate by March, assuming we're being very generous.
Well, I mean, if Trump really wanted to get it done, he would put it up for vote. And if they don't want to put up to vote, put a flock camera in every bedroom and on every you know what sort of bar in DC, and you're gonna see how many congressmen go in and out of those those type of certain pizza places
And you know what
in
we're gonna
DC.
do?
So anyway,
But don't bring up the pizza index.
all right. Anyway, all right, David.
But yeah,
You are the last.
end-
Go ahead, birthday boy.
All right. To end it on a good note, on a funny note, we got 250th memes.
All right, 250 memes.
I saw
We
Here we
got
are.
two of them.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's go with those. Two of the safest railroads for Norfolk Southern UP. I know we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but we'll probably leave it for next time. But that is
Next time we might talk a little more about it.
oh man, yeah, two of the safest railroads in the entire country. Yeah, you are the
I'm
last.
gonna put in.
Last, especially this one over here on the left. I'm looking at you, Norfolk Southern. You were the last to talk about safety. So
I'm pretty sure a judge said they have to pay, and they're trying to find a way to not pay.
Yep.
yeah. Oh man, yeah, I know they're still on that.
I'm putting these two.
All right, and same vibes.
Same vibe.
Okay, goodness, that's probably one of the wackiest liveries for any of the 250 trains. I mean, I know there's some like really bad ones. The worst one being Alaska. The no effort Alaska one.
Yep.
But this one is just like.
Yep.
Somebody was smoking like on 3 different sections of the train, and they're like, yeah, that looks great.
I'd still take Alaska over that.
He's got more.
I don't know Alaska Railroad works that much.
Yeah, so, all right, guys, we are going to end it at that. Again, we are at 10:06, so we're a little bit over ahead. I got to go and get things going for tomorrow, but thank you all for joining on board this wild ride on this episode of the American Rail Club live stream. We will see you all next time. Take care, and Godspeed.
Good
I'll see
night.
everybody. Have a good night.
Have a good
See you
night.
next
Thank
time.
you.
Hell yeah.